It could be like earthy taste, or it can also be like a flowery taste depending on how much I input. But
Yeah,
I like it to taste good too, but
no doubt.
I'm not opposed to bitter teas. I love it all. So for me, I like to wake up to a sarsaparilla tea and add
Yeah.
some calendula in there with the mucle, with the damiana, and it tastes so good.
Peace. Welcome to the Lightbulb Lessons podcast, where we build with professional leaders who share their organic life lessons. I'm your host, T.O. Clay. My mission is to leverage and extract intellectual perspective, thought provoking conversation, and real light bulb moment experiences to help others reflect, develop, and grow as people. These lessons are inspired by the priceless moments in life we use to connect the dots and propel ourselves forward along our journey. It's time to turn on the lamp and shine light.
Peace, 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 peace. It's T.O. Clear Light Bulb Lessons. All we need is seven. Seven is God, as you already know. Just starting off the top, I'll always say, my goal is always to have the best leaders that I know, the best individuals, just great, down to earth, amazing people. And today I have a very, very special individual, an individual that I met a few months ago, give or take, somewhere along the way. Had the opportunity to go out to Rancho Cucamonga and speak at the GPN Men's Empowerment Conference. Shout out to Tiffany Williams Parra, all the family out there. Um, and we kept being told that, hey, some of the best tea that you will ever have in your life is in the back. And when you get a little bit of time, stop through and check it out. And man, I just want you all to know out there, uh, I was able to pull up, and man, I got to meet this amazing, outstanding young lady that I have with me here today. Uh, my girl, man, Melissa. And I don't even know, and she'll get into it, but the tea that she gave me, I'm just telling you all, yo, it was fire. And I've traveled the world. I've had a lot of great teas, great coffees, but man, it was something special about that tea, man. And I remember going back and telling Big Mo, shout out to Big Mo. I was like, bruh, this that bomb right here. This is it. So again, hey, and we made that established connection. As soon as we began to speak, man, it was just natural. It was organic. And I told her, I said, man, I'm gonna bring you on my podcast, man, because you shine that light and I feel your vibe. And I would love to have you to come on and just build with me and we just talk. And so lo and behold, man, hey, we here today. I'm grateful. Hey, today's episode is being brought to you by Divine Warriors Dimension. Shout out to my man Cutno. I see you out there, bro. You're doing good things, and we appreciate you always showing the light above love. So with that, you all, I'm gonna shut my mouth and I'm a pass the mic to my homegirl, Melissa Cisneros. How you doing today?
Hi, Tio. I am doing amazing. It is truly an honor to be here and connect with you once again. I also knew from the beginning that your energy was amazing and just how much detail you put into your speech and just, writing all the details down from every speaker at the GPN was honestly like I've never really seen that. So
Yeah.
um, that really truly did create an impact and it made the whole thing even more special. So
Right. Right.
shout out to you for that because yeah, that was just different and attentiveness, and I'm very big on details as well, and just being focused, present. Honestly, that showed a lot from you, and I truly respect that. But yeah, I'm here, thank you for the tea shout out. I did do it with a lot of love. I do everything with love, and that was definitely something I wanted to share with everyone there, because that's why I do the free tea samples even when I do vending and farmers markets and things like that. um for me it's an honor for people to even just take a sip, because that can change your life. Just that one sip, it already has an impact in your body. So for me, it is an honor, and I'm very happy to be here. I just want to tap in with you and
Yeah.
your people and just spread the word, the message that I have to bring and you have to bring and mix it in together, you know?
That's it, man. And I truly appreciate it because you said that one word, Melissa, love. You know, I talk about light a lot, and light, Light, is love, intellect, greatness, health, and truth. And again, and that's why you're here today, because you exuberate that on all levels. You're really out here healing people, Melissa. Like I need the folk out there, man, that's peeping game and checking us out. Man, understand, man, this young lady, I mean, everybody doesn't do what you do. I'll put it that way and make it simple and plain. Everybody does not do what you do. And I want to start it off just by saying, like, what inspires you to do what you do? Like, why are
Mm.
you doing exactly now what you do?
Mm. I think for me, it was the impact that it created when I started to change my lifestyle. And it was more like I didn't know that I wasn't feeling good. And I didn't know
Right,
how that was actually interfering in my life in so many ways. So there's something that I got inspired by the person who truly it started off with an herbalist. So that particular herbalist that I worked for 4 years taught me almost everything I know. And because I came across other healers in between that time, that impacted me even more. And that particular
right.
healer speaks on being in peace. And I didn't
Mm,
understand what he meant by that. So after now that I'm in a certain place right now where it's like I understand what he means when you choose peace over, chaos. And
that's right.
by chaos, it's just like what society has done to our people,
Mhm.
which is a very touchy subject. And a lot of people don't want to speak on it, but it is true and it is there. So it is more like how many people are getting sick and how I was sick back when I was really young, much younger than what I am now, which is
Right,
actually really bad. So, just being 21, experiencing changes in my entire life, it's starting off with my mental and just
right,
feeling more clarity. I didn't know what that was like. So that inspired me to keep going and start doing what I do. So all these herbs that I took, all the sacrifices that I did with food led me to this. And then I started to realize how food really is the problem with a lot of health issues, including myself. So that was what inspired me to help others because I feel great. So I'm like,
right.
yo, other people need to know about this. Like, why is this not being taught in schools? Like, all this information that I
Mhm.
came across was not at all taught in school. So
Oh no.
the fact that I'm able to have the knowledge, I want to put it all together and then just present it out, and try to get other people to understand themselves because it's all about getting to know who we are and
Right.
knowing your body is one of them. So that's the inspiration I got from being around people that are healing others.
Yeah,
Truly.
that's dope. That's dope. So if because for you all out there watching, you know, Melissa is in California. What part of Cali are you from originally?
So I'm in LA County.
Okay, so were you born in LA or surrounding
Um,
county?
I was born in LA County. It was just not LA, but I like to say that because there's a big difference between people that were raised in LA and then I was
Yeah.
born more like in a more secluded city. So it was
Okay.
more like it wasn't as crazy as LA.
Cool. Cool. So if you're walking down Sunset Boulevard or if you're walking down uh, Hollywood Boulevard, random regular day, and a gentleman or a lady walks up to you and says, "Hey, hello." You say, "Hello, how are you?" They say, "I'm doing great." And they say, "What do you do?" How would you explain to them what you do?
What I would say is I empower others to live a healthier lifestyle through
Yes.
nutrition, health, mind, body, and soul all together because it's all interconnected.
Mm.
So that's the broad little
That's dope,
message,
though.
I would say.
That is so dope, though. Because again, if I'm that person, I'm going to automatically be like, wow, yo. Because like you said, it's the inner, it's the intuition. It's you said that key word from your mentor, peace. When I think of
Yes.
peace, to be honest, Melissa, I could only think of one thing, and that's positive energy always creates elevation. Peace,
Yes.
positive energy always creates elevation. You know what I mean? And for some of us, it's difficult. I don't think people understand, Melissa, how diet is so important. I mean, we see it on TV. We hear people talking about it here and there. Like you said, we learn of the basic things in school. But how have you seen diet in terms of how it helps people, how it changed their mental space, their mental health? How do you have any examples of seeing someone that or whatnot go from that one state of poor diet to a better diet? You could just see that overall, like you said, peace, flowing off of them. Have you witnessed any of that?
Yeah, I would actually say I started off I actually me and my sister would be my first person that kind of like, she's my little sister, so she was kind of just going by what I did, and I would cook her food and we started to eat different. We would both be the odd ones from the family. So like I
Wow.
remember I did see a difference in her as well because we both had acne. We both were on the same journey as she was trusting me, I would say. So like as we continued to see, I could see it in her. And there was like this drastic moment that she had with her skin one time that her leg broke out, and a lot of people experience this, but literally her leg was like broken out. And mind you, around this time we were detoxing from processed foods because we were eating tons of processed foods like every week, fast food from outside. My mom would cook a lot of home food, but once she started working, the dynamic changed. So we
Right.
stopped
Right.
having her food as often. So we started to eat fast food. And I wasn't cooking much and things of that nature. I was barely learning as I continued the journey. So I seen her change, and one like I remember she was being pressured onto, like, we went to Mexico around this time. Her leg was broken out. She was itching. I was going through it with her because I was
Wow.
sleeping next to her. Like I was like we were going through a life crisis in a way. Like we had lost a house. Like everything was crazy. And
Wow.
around that time we were sleeping together, sharing a room. So just imagine like her scratching her leg. I was hearing it all. I felt like it was me. And as we went to Mexico, everybody was pressuring her to take medications and things of that nature, but she was such a trooper that like she didn't, like, I told her, you can do whatever you want, you
Right.
don't have to listen to me. And I guess something else spoke greater to her, and she just said, okay, like, I'm not going to take these medications. I'm just going to go through the healing, because it was going away, but it was just like you had to be patient with the healing. And she was taking herbs, and we were eating fruits and vegetables, like we were just going at it, and every day just kept getting better. And she was drinking herbal teas as well. So we were just like doing herbal baths and things of that nature. So we saw the power that it created within her. And finally, like one day, you just see her leg all cleared up. And I was like,
Mm.
wow, like you see how, other voices outside can really affect the truth. And honestly,
Right.
that
Right.
was the truth. And that to me proved how even her acne was healed up, like her acne healed up, my acne healed up, her leg healed up. So that was like a huge thing that honestly I haven't even spoke on. So
Wow.
it is an honor to bring it up here, and whoever
Yes.
listens, because she has videos on it herself, but I never show
Wow.
off or nothing like that, because I mean, it's all God at the end of the day. And for me,
That's
it
right.
was just like the knowledge that I attained. And I just wanted, like, let's see, we're kind of experimenting here, but at the same time, that's Mother Nature,
Yes.
and that was my first person, I should say, that I felt like I pretty much, I don't like to say experimented in that sense, but in a way, we said, let's give it a try. Let's see what nature can do, right?
That's
And
right.
that impacted everything. So that she changed, even she started to feel better. There was like a lot of changes in her body as well.
Mm.
So that was my first person. And also my mother, she recently too, my mother, she's freaking out. She has, they told her that she was diagnosed with diabetes. And it was very pre-on though. But the thing about it is that when they go to the doctors a lot, which I'm not knocking the medical field, I'm just saying that there is some doctors that really scare you and they try to tell you like, if you don't start taking my
Oh yeah.
medications,
Oh yeah.
you're gonna pass away within 2 years. And it's like, so you're God now, so it's crazy.
Yeah.
And I really, really, it really like worries me because my mom really thinks like she has an illness where like she's gonna pass or something really soon.
Mm.
But so that was really a thing for me. So then she did start to change her lifestyle after like he told her that. I can see
Yeah.
like the difference between for my mom, the way that she was eating before to now. Like she's still making the changes right now, but I can see it
Hmm.
by her energy. I can see it. She was overweight. My mom was overweight and she lost weight like over 30,
Mm.
40 pounds. So she was detoxing on her own, but then she started to follow like more of my lifestyle in a sense, just incorporating
Yeah.
some things that I suggest. So that to
Mm.
me means a lot because I didn't used to have the best relationship with my mother. And just
Yes.
seeing this relationship flourish and her trusting me again was definitely a beautiful thing for
Man,
me to
hey,
see.
I just want to say, Melissa, that man, my heart is fluttering right now, man, because man, you talk about a light bulb lesson. Like we can end this right now. And whoever's, like I said, I've said it 3 times. Those of you out there checking us out, man. And as I was telling you, Melissa, real talk, real time. And we got people around the world seeing
Yeah.
this. And I'm so grateful for that. You know, individuals on the continent of Africa, Australia, up north Canada, down in Dominican Republic. It's people everywhere watching, and I know they feel right now exactly how I feel. If they're watching this, they feel how I feel. The light bulb lesson is you are impacting the people that you love the most. You've impacted your sister. You're impacting your mother. We just celebrated Mother's Day, a few days ago. And as a man, I could tell you like, man, it's nothing like mama. And like you said, blessings to your mom because hey, sometimes, I know like my mom and my sister, they ain't always rock the best. You know what I mean? Like it just is what it is. I know my sister love my mom. I know my mom loves my sister, but they haven't always rock uh to that level of I know that they rock today because my sister lost her husband last year. My
Um,
sister is a 2-time widow. Her first husband passed away in a car accident. After some years, she bounced back, met new gentleman, and he passed away last year of a brain aneurysm. Unexpected,
wow.
just out of the blue. And real talk, uh, I've seen my mom step up to the plate. You know what I mean? Being there for her daughter, her one and only daughter. You know what I mean?
Wow.
I have an older brother, then it's my sister, and I'm the baby of the bunch, right? But this show was what I call build session, is about leadership, Melissa. And you're leading. I know you've impacted so many more people. I know there's people that you've went to school with, people around the way from your block, people cousins, friends that saw the change in you. And that's what today really is about, man. This is your story. You know what I mean? Like it's you, it's your story. Like I said, that magneticism is real. Our bodies, we have magneticism in our bodies. And I just love this conversation, man. I mean, I love it because you found healing through nature. You
Mhm.
understand what nature really is. When I look across this backyard and I see the pine trees and the pine cones and the squirrels running around and ants and just that fresh breath of air. That's why I wanted to come out here today. I'm in my little back sunroom here at the house, Melissa. Usually I'm down in the studio in the lab with all the cool trinkets and all of that. But I felt that presence of that energy. I said, man, Melissa, hey, she's dialed in. She's tapped in to the universe. You know what I mean? So it's just refreshing. So um wow, man, just hearing that, like you're physically seeing, your lifestyle impacting the ones that you love the most, and that's leadership. I have to say it again, like out in Cali at the GPN, if I was taking notes right now, that's the light bulb for me. That light bulb would be, man, Melissa is, she's impacting by showing and proving. You know what I mean? Your lifestyle has changed. Like you said, your sister, different certain things, and she started to really embody that and understand that, you are what you eat, and we eat to live. You know what I mean? You said one
Yes.
thing. You said herbal baths. For those out there that don't understand what that is or never done it before, can you kind of expound on that? What is a herbal bath?
Yeah, so what you can do is there's different ways to do it, but also still the same. So you would
Hmm.
boil water and you would find, well, we were recommended to use certain leaves from Mexico. There's like this leaves,
Hmm.
I don't remember the name. It was definitely an herb that I mean a tree leaf that was
Hmm.
recommended, which I can definitely ask my grandma because I didn't know the
Right,
name.
right.
But we used a certain leaf from the tree and then we obviously we cleaned it up and everything. It was a whole bunch. And then we
Hmm.
just boiled it in the water. And as it cooled down, basically we put the leaves on top of her leg and she also was able to bathe like the leg kind of, but she wasn't able to put
Hmm.
it too long because she would get really itchy.
Right,
So she
right.
can't be in water that long. So we would just put the leaves on top of her leg and just sit there so it can absorb
Wow.
like the minerals that it contains. And it has a lot of these flowers, plants, they all have minerals and healing properties that you can utilize on your skin. So
Mm,
that was what we did, and it was just like the first time ever that we kind of did something like that.
that's dope.
But yeah, even though like my grandma and my mom, like they were still like pressuring her on the fact to like take antibiotics, like they still were
Yeah.
very helpful to like do
Hmm.
the other side as well, because that's where they come from, nature,
Yeah. That's it,
especially in
man.
Mexico.
Right. I mean, it's so many things that, you touched on it a little bit. This is light bulb lessons. We do keep it a buck. We keep it 100. Um, it's a lot of doctors out here that do not want to see us heal properly. It is a lot of doctors out here that are responsible for death and
Yes.
loss of life. Uh, that's why what you do is so important. I know we had mentioned a name when we were together out in California, and that name, shout out to the great Dr. Sabi, rest in power.
Yes.
Uh, Dr. Sabi now, and I could say a little further back the last few years, but more so now so many people are beginning to understand, a lot of the things that he was really manifesting years upon years ago. One thing Dr. Sabi talked a lot about, Melissa, was mucus.
Yes.
That mucus and it's the herbs. You talked about the love tea. Um, I keep shaking my head and smiling on that because it was so good. Um, what's your favorite tea? Like if you're waking up on a normal regular day, what's your favorite? What's some of your favorite flavors and herbs that you like to consume?
Wow, so my favorite one is sarsaparilla. I like to add damiana into it. I like my girl actually introduced me to this one. She has this particular herb, but it's called Jamaican dog bush or dog blood. They
Dog
call
bush,
it
dog
dog
blood.
blood. Yes, that one.
Okay.
I also like to add, I always play with them, but usually these are my staples right now. And I like to add flowers like calendula or arnica sometimes. It just depends on
Mm,
my mood or what I'm trying to
yeah.
target because they all have different healing aspects to them. Um, and then what else do I like to put? I like to put mucla is good too. Um, Nettle, stinging nettle is one of my favorites as well. So I pretty much do a blend in the morning all the time for the most part. And I also like guacala latte. Guacala latte is so good for everyone.
Yeah.
But all of these
Wow.
herbs are. So that's like what I like to drink in the morning. It's a little bit more, I could be like earthy taste, or it can also be like a flowery taste depending on how much I input. But
Yeah.
I like it to taste good too, but
No doubt.
I'm not opposed to bitter teas. I love it all. So for me, I like to wake up to a sarsaparilla tea and add
Yeah.
some calendula in there with the mucle, with the damiana, and it tastes so good.
Man, that's dope. For real, man. Um, I got this book, and I know you said you got the same book as well.
Yes.
Uh, I bought this book years ago, Melissa, and it's so crazy because certain things around the house may happen, or my son's out here playing and they playing soccer or whatnot, and may get their knee down in an ant pile or something. They come in the house, freaking out, and I'll go grab this book. I'll go grab it and I'll start looking at you know just the different things, man. Like, oh man, dandruff, nausea, diaper rash, dry skin, chickweed, aloe gel, calendula, comfrey body butter. Like, I've never heard of that before, but when you look at some of this, the cocoa, coconut, jojoba, shea butter, obviously, aloe
Mm.
vera, dried chickweed, uh, teaspoons of dried agrimony. I never heard of that. That's for diarrhea, Melissa.
Wow.
1 cup of boiling water, 2 teaspoons of dried agrimony. But I mean, again, these properties, and that's why I love, man, having this conversation with you. And this is part one, because we're gonna dive deeper. I promise you, we're gonna dive deeper. I just wanted to give the overlay of who you are, what it is that you do, how important you are, man, to all of us.
Thank
That
you.
you've taken that call, because it really is a calling. You're
Yes.
operating in a high level of purpose. You're operating in your why. Like I said, man, right within your own internal family. It is so special. Um, but again, man, it's like when I think of, you know, us, man, I'm 48. How old are you, Melissa, again?
I'm 29.
You're 29. You're the same age as my daughter. My daughter's 29, and she will be 30 in August. My birthday is August 10th. I'll be 49. She'll be 30 on
Oh,
August 24th, right? And I can't wait that she, can meet you, because one thing about her, man, and it all centers around peace. I have to say that. It centers around peace. It centers around, being your most holistic self. And you spoke on that. You had a phenomenal keynote in Rancho Cucamonga as well. And many of the things that you talked about was just that wellness and that wholeness. Like, man, I mean, what do you think in terms of what you do for the babies, for the children? Do you try to reach your hand out, stretch that hand out to educate the children?
I would say that Not necessarily, but I do want to.
Yeah,
I've gotten like when I do farmers markets, there has been children that come up and they're like, "Hey, can I have some tea?" And it makes me
yeah,
so happy because
right.
it's just like, wow, like they're really aware of what's going on here
Yes,
and inspired. And also like how you were just mentioning that you go to high schools and you were giving me all these ideas right now. Like I was already
right,
thinking
right.
like, dang, like I could do stuff like that too. Like I could just go and
Yes.
speak to these younger people. I did
Yes.
have a college pop up, and I'm actually gonna have another one this Saturday. So I'm
Okay.
super excited because, but the children though, I would really love to get more in tune with that because
Right.
it starts with them. Because I really reach more like the mothers and like the father
Hmm.
kind of thing because like it does start with us too, right?
It
So
does. It does.
if they can pass it on to their children, that's already for me in a way
Yes.
still spreading it to them by just
Yes.
getting the knowledge through
Yes.
me. So, but I
Yes.
would love to do something greater for that
Yeah.
specifically.
Yes. Absolutely, man. And I raised that because the babies are the greatest. Melissa, like it's like I'll be honest, my son, my youngest son, he'll be getting off the bus here in a little bit, in about 30 minutes, but he had a tough time from the time he was born. He's 11 now, just turned 11 in April last month.
Mm.
But I would say all the way up to he was probably 8, 9. He had a lot of trouble pooping. You know what I mean? Like tear worthy of me and my wife
Um,
because he would just be in pain, like or he would 2 or 3 days, and it was again my wife. She's on it, man. Like my wife, she's on it when it comes to these children, and she said we need to take him to the gastro. We have to take it. Like I refuse to believe that it's this or that. And when we took him, uh, they didn't say it was anything, in terms of wrong with him internally, but they was just basically like, hey man, he's got to eat better.
yeah.
He's just got to eat better. Like the better he eats, the more it's going to flow and work for him properly. And we've tried so many things, everything but the harsh stuff, like the clear stuff that make you go like in 30 minutes. We didn't want to do that to him, but man, when my wife started switching up that diet for him, man, it fell in line, and simple things. Like you said, the fast foods, man. He used to love McDonald's. We stopped, and that's something that I think a lot of America struggles with, man, is being in that rut, especially when it comes to kids. You pick up the kids, they got practice, they got all these different things, and time, and it's like the easy thing to do is pull over to McDonald's, pull over to Wendy's, pull over to whatever fast food. But in the long run, man, it is horrible. It's killing us. It's literally
Yes.
it's killing us. So, um, what's the name of your business? What's the name of your business?
So the name of my business is Revelation of Nature.
Yeah,
Um, I changed it a few times. This is it though. This one is like
yeah,
the one that it used to be Melissa Holistics, but I wanted something more that really stood out. So Revelation of
right.
Nature was my calling. So that's what
Yeah.
it's called.
Okay. Revelation of nature. Mm, that's outstanding, man. And that's it. You just said it, man. Like I'm repeating and regurgitating a lot of things you're saying because it's in alignment, man. It's at that terrific speed of alignment. It really is.
No,
Because
also like you brought up your child with the food aspect, like that is so important. And I'm happy
it
that you guys
is.
also took initiative to even learn and see like, oh,
Right.
let's experiment, let's see like what food we can change, because I know
Yes.
people that have children too and they're very little and they're constipated and that is not okay, they're
It's not.
suffering at a
It's
young
not.
age.
That's the truth, man. Like my son, he would have them dark circles under his eyes, like literally look like he was falling apart, man. And
Wow.
when you see that with a 6, 7 year old, and it's like, yo, and like I said, he would go try to use it, and man, and then my wife would do certain things, and it would come, and it would be so painful because it was so backed up. You know what I mean?
Mm,
And a few times we had to take him and get enemas done. And my wife was like, "You got to go in there with him this time. I'm not going in there." And
yeah.
man, I go up in there, and they put the whole, whatever that color stuff in him, and man, I'm talking like it was like his whole life worth of poop came out.
Wow.
I'm not lying to you. And within days, man, his face cleared up. He didn't have the circles on his eyes anymore.
Wow.
And his energy was like at an all-time high. And we knew at that moment. And it was just like, yo, man, like, we have to stay on our son. And now, over the last few years, he's taken ownership. Because now he doesn't want that old feeling again. You know what I mean? He doesn't,
Yes.
like if he's in here snacking or something crazy, I'm like, hey man, you want to go back down to that place? No, sir. No, sir.
Yes.
Like he already knows. So, but nah, it's real, man. And that's why what you do is so important. What your purpose is so important. And
Thank you.
again,
Likewise.
I just wanted to highlight, how important, you are, man. And I really appreciate you. And just keep pushing, man. A lot of times we was talking offline before, we started the build session, and it gets tough, man. But
Yeah.
but we both know, Melissa, collectively, uh that we're both serving a purpose. And that's why God brought us together, out of all the people, from that trip. I knew in my spirit, I told Big Mo, shout out to Big Mo. I said, Mo,
Yeah.
bro, hey, I got a bill with Melissa, man. I love her style. I love what she stands for, and that's what's going to last. A lot of people out here in this space, not knocking anybody, like you were saying with the medical doctors. We're not here to knock nobody, but some people, they only in it for the money. Some people only in it for the accolades. Look at me, and I know for you and I, it's not what we stand for. It's not what we get down with. So, I want to continue to build with you, man, and we will. And more opportunities will come. Trust me, more opportunities will come, because again, when you speak, Melissa, people listen,
Mm,
because like you said, it's really truly no doubt the revelation of nature. I do a lot of studying, as I talked about out in California, being able to see the pyramids for the first time in person, and going down into the tombs, and as we say, hieroglyphics. It's actually metal netter, metal netta, and metal netta is nature. That's what it is. God is nature. So I'm elated, man, to be able to build with you today. Um, and like I said, man, let's keep building. It's a lot of great people out there. Brother Yaki, a lot of different people. But hey, man, what we can build together, that's the purpose. That's the goal. I want people to be able to reach out to you, if they have questions, certain things that they may be experiencing. They can reach out to you. So what's the best way to get in contact with you, if you don't mind sharing that?
absolutely. So for me, the best way to get in contact can be emails as well as Instagram. I'm open to DMs if needed. But honestly, like emails are definitely way better for me. And I have a website as well. But if people want to tap in to just kind of see what I do in general, Instagram is definitely where I'm at, where you can see a lot of content. Um, and yeah, as far as that goes, we can always work something out.
Absolutely. What's your Instagram handle?
My Instagram handle is Revelation of Nature, just like that. And that's where I post a lot of stuff, but I also post a lot of things on my personal Instagram, which is also kind of connected with my well, it is
Right.
connected with my business because I utilize Instagram for business only,
Absolutely.
truly, but also put a little bit of my life because I'm a real person too, right?
Right. Right. As you should.
So
As you should.
with that, you can find me Melissa, but it's Melizah, Yaneth
Yeah.
with the Yaneth.
Word. Yeah, man. Make sure y'all go out there, man, and follow Melissa, man. Like I said, she got a lot of good knowledge,
Appreciate
and
you.
ask those questions, man, and get you some of that tea out there, man. I'm telling you, hit her up, hit her DM, man. She will lace you. Uh, there's no price, man, on your health. In today's episode, man, build session, as I love to always call it. That's what we on, man. We on trying to strive for the righteousness of the right health. Again, everybody out there has light. That light is within you. That love is all around you. Love is nature. Nature is love. The intellect, like I said, hit up Melissa, hit her up, ask the
Thank
questions,
you.
shoot her emails, and from there, recognize that greatness, man. Like I said, we don't have to stay on these calls and Zoom calls and podcast episodes forever. It was already stated, through her lifestyle change, she was able to bring her sister along, her mom, and so many other people, myself, Tiffany Williams Power, so many different people out here, is trying to strive for greatness. And it starts with you, the internal you. That's what it's all about. And the health aspect of it, man, the mental health, um, man, I can't stress it enough, you all. And if you live in a place that you may not have the opportunity to walk down the street, or go in certain establishments, like I said, hey, it's out here. It's here. Don't be afraid. Reach out to Melissa. I promise you all, reach out to her. She's got the answer for you. And again, she's gonna give you truth. If she doesn't know, she's gonna point you in the right direction. You know what I mean? If I don't know, I'm gonna point you in the right direction. And man, we're here for uh the simple reasons, man, of wanting to help others and live longevity. And it's very important. So with that being said, Melissa, any parting words before we get up out of here for this first session? Because again, the next session, hey, we're gonna go deeper, and we're gonna hit specifics. Today, hey, it's just let them know that, hey, this is what we on and how to contact you. But any parting words for the people before we get out of here?
Absolutely. First of all, I want to say thank you for considering me to having me on your podcast.
Yeah, man.
It is truly an honor for sure. And I appreciate your words as well. Just speaking that, things that I need to hear myself from just what you notice about me. I really do
Yeah.
appreciate that. And I want to say the same to you. Like, you are also needed. And without you, we wouldn't be able to spread this message to your people. And for
Right.
me, it is much love to you and to yours, because it is, you inspired me. I just had an idea right now with Tiffany, what I want to do with Tiffany. So
Right.
I truly, this is a whole alignment for me. Don't be so hard on yourself, but
That's
you
right.
know, take care of yourself, because you only have you. Everyone, there's blood, your lineage is looking out for you. They want your help. They need you to be at the top so you can continue to inspire down the line for your bloodline. This isn't just for yourself, but it's also for future generations and the people that are already here. And one change makes a difference. So take it a day at a time and love yourself. That's what I will end up saying.
Yeah, that's it, man. Thank you all for rocking with us today. Hey, man, give a shout out to all our peoples out there. We always say, and we emphatically say, peace, love, and light. Peace, love, and light. Thank you.